Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Virgo for the month of December. A couple of notes before we begin. I just want to say that I do offer personal readings. You can find the information for that down below. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook at Peach on Earth Tarot. I'm going to start posting daily messages over there if you're interested in something like that. And then also I wanted to point out that I know sometimes it can be a little frustrating that I speak a little bit slower and I shuffle to get the cards, so sometimes that can take a little while. And so if that is something that bothers you, you can go ahead and change the playback speed by hitting those three little dots and hit playback speed, and you can choose 1.25 or 1.5. And so if that's something that bothers you, you can go ahead and do that. But if not, we can go ahead and get started with the reading. Virgo, when I was getting into your energy, it's interesting that they pointed out something about the way that I read tarot cards. And, you know, when I am giving someone a reading, I always preface it with the fact that I'm not a psychic, or I'm not trying to predict your future. What I am trying to do is help you with right now and how to get through that, and then how you can potentially like change your future with your actions of today. And so it's interesting that they wanted me to point that out, because I feel like maybe that's something that you're focusing on, is like the day-to-day actions that you're taking in life. Okay, because they did also, the very first word they gave me for you was dedication. And so I feel like that is like you focusing on the here and the now. That is dedication, right? So that was like really the only message that they gave me, were those two things. So we're going to go ahead and start with the fairy tarot cards. Am I shaking that? I might have to move back a little bit. Okay. So what is the message for Virgo for the month of December, please? Message for Virgo for the month of December. What is the message for Virgo for the month of December? So we have the Three of Wands. Seven of Pentacles on the bottom. I really like this. So I wasn't getting like a ton from the picture just yet. So I went and I looked at the words. It says, plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. And I really feel like that is like dedication to me, where each step is a part of the bigger plan, but you're focusing on the smaller step. Have patience. Satisfaction from a job well done. Yeah, you're really dedicated to something right now. And I'm noticing the purple. And purple does have to do with like spirituality. So maybe you're on like a spiritual path right now, because I am seeing that castle in the background too. But Three of Wands usually represents, to me, it represents waiting for, it's like waiting for your ships to come in, and like you've manifested what you want to manifest, and now you're just kind of like, because part of manifestation is, you know, you say what it is you want. You formulate that plan, right? The long-term plan, and then you release it. You have to release it and then start taking actions. You can't just, with manifestation, you can't just like sit there and wait. You have to actually like start taking steps forward. And so that's what this is. It's like plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. Maybe you're in planning mode right now. Yeah, because it is kind of, it's not quite forward movement, the Three of Wands. It's not quite forward movement. It's kind of like watching and waiting, but I feel like it's also like you're just seeing what your next steps are. Especially with the Seven of Pentacles on the bottom. It's like you're kind of like assessing right now, because that's what Seven of Pentacles means to me, is like assessment in your, you know, what you're doing in life and the actions you're taking. Okay. So it almost feels like a little bit of a tiny like hanged man is what I'm getting. I would look up the color purple because I'm not really like 100%. So I would look that up because I am really strongly seeing that purple. It's like almost like a dark magenta color. But anyway, what is the next step for Virgo, please, for the month of December? Ooh. Okay, so we have the Six of Cups on the bottom. That can represent like childhood, people from your childhood, past lives. To me, sometimes it can be like latent abilities that you have that were part of your past lives or congruent lives or however you see it. Programming in your matrix. Okay, so we have the Seven of Cups. You know, it's interesting because what I'm kind of seeing is like, okay, so he's like casting this rainbow down. And the Seven of Cups typically is about having choices and whatnot. But this says no more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. And that's kind of like what you're being called to do right now, is like you're just like, okay, it's time to stop waiting and time to start moving, acting, taking your small steps. And it's interesting, the way that I'm seeing this rainbow is like it's almost casting down to these words right here on this one. That's the plan your next steps with an eye to the long term. And so it's like the next steps. Your next steps are being illuminated. Two of Cups. So I wasn't getting strong relationship energy, but there are a lot of cups here. These two are cups and this one on the bottom is cups. So it could be like something about a relationship. Like you're putting off, like maybe it's like commitment to something or someone. And it's almost like, to me, this is almost like the universe is illuminating. Because the purple, I do know the purple can represent the third eye or like the crown chakra. And that is like your portals to spirit. And so I feel like it's almost like the universe is illuminating what you need to do in order to commit to whatever it is you're wanting to commit to, but are not for some reason. Because I'm not getting that you're like not wanting to commit to it. You actually really strongly want to commit to it, but you're not taking actions towards commitment. But you're wanting to. So that's what I think is happening, is like the universe is illuminating what you need to do. Sorry, I'm just reading this. So it's falling in love and making a serious commitment to someone. Forgiveness and the resolution of a problem. Don't give up. Your relationship can be healed. It's interesting. I almost said friendship there as well, because it can, you know, to me, it can pertain to friendships as well. But I am getting strong romance here. But with the Six of Cups, it does seem like it could be a past person. That because of the way that this is worded about like resolving a problem, that it's like someone from your past that you're needing to make decisions on. I don't know. I kind of want to clarify some things here. But we have the Hanged Man here. But what I like about this is that it's actually called Awakening in this deck. So it's not like he's still, because I did say it was like a mini Hanged Man situation, but it's almost like it's a mini Hanged Man situation because he's like awakening from it. He's like, by being hung up, that's how the universe gets his attention, right? To shine a light on things. And so that's what's happening, is they're shining a light on things. And I did mention the crown chakra, and his crown chakra is like completely lit up in this. So things are being illuminated for you right now, and it's going to allow you to act appropriately in the future is what I'm hearing. Okay. I do kind of want to keep the Six of Cups just because I feel like it does pertain to this, but it's not necessarily for everyone, but it is an underlying energy. And yeah, I think I'm going to use the Osho Zen Tarot to clarify, because the Osho Zen Tarot is all about, it's not about past or future, it is about right now and the actions we take right now, and that is the message that I was getting beforehand. So, okay, what are we going to clarify here? I want to clarify, well, I think we have time for all of them. So let's clarify the Three of Wands, please, for Virgo for December. Clarify one card for the Three of Wands for Virgo, please, for the month of December. One card to clarify the Three of Wands for Virgo. So this is kind of interesting. So we have existence on the bottom, and then we have comparison. And it's almost like comparing existences. Like you're comparing your existence to the existence of what you're trying to manifest. Like you're trying to imagine your life as what you want it to be. That's so interesting because like this is normally kind of a negative thing, right? The Five of Clouds is what it is in here, but that's like the Five of Air, which is, I don't know. I don't get comparison with it, so we're just going to stick with comparison. But you know, when you compare yourself to others, that's a inherently negative thing. But here I'm getting, it's like you're comparing who you have been acting like, or like what you've been. It's like beneath the armor. What's beneath the armor is what I'm getting here with this existence card on the bottom. And with the Three of Wands. I was going to say something and it's like completely gone. I just saw success and rebirth. You know, because obviously a tree can't turn itself into bamboo, right? Like that's not realistic. But I feel like you're torn. It feels like you're torn. Like, should you be the tree or should you be the bamboo? Is what it's feeling like. But both are equally good things. Like, they both are very wonderful things. I'm moving the camera a lot. I'm sorry. It's interesting. But this is the hang up. The comparison is the hang up. But it's also like how you envision the next steps. It's like, okay, if I no longer want to be a tree, how do I become a bamboo? And even though I wouldn't necessarily encourage like wanting to be something you're not, I don't think it's necessarily like that. I think it's just wanting to change toxic traits, right? And so you're kind of just like making the steps. Okay. That's so interesting because like I was feeling really stressed when I was reading or like getting the message from this card. I was starting to feel really flustered, and I feel like you might be feeling really flustered right now with the way that the universe is shining light on things for you. It might be a little bit stressful because it's scary. You know, this is the Seven of Wands, and Like, again, I'm not going to go into the typical meaning because I don't feel like it really relates to this message that I'm getting. But it does. It feels like maybe when you were getting the messages, the downloads about the things that were needing changed, it was really stressful for you. But now you're almost like, I can't take the stress anymore. I really want to change this. I want to manifest change and like the steps and actions that I can take to move this forward. Because you don't want to feel stressed anymore. You don't want to just keep getting like, because the longer you ignore messages about changes that you're supposed to make, the more prominent the messages are going to get, the bigger they're going to get, and the more like unavoidable they're going to get, right? So you have to just kind of like embrace it eventually and be like, okay. Oh, and that's interesting because you have patience on the bottom, another 7, so 7, 7. So you're learning to find patience and the need to, like you can no longer stay the same pretty much. Okay, let's look at the 2 of Cups. I don't know why I can't stop shaking this. Oh, because it's on my blanket. Hang on a second. Okay, let's see if that's better. Yeah, okay, sorry about that. So 2 of Cups, let's look at the 2 of Cups for Virgo, month of December. 2 of Cups. Oh, that's sweet. So we have consciousness, which I think is like the king of, well, there's no suit or, there's no number or court card on there. But it's an air energy, and it's the third eye. I said third eye and crown, and his third eye is illuminated here. And it's consciousness. And then we have completion on the bottom. And so I feel like you are really becoming conscious of like something that is completing you. Again, I was getting a romantic relationship. It does not have to be. It can be things that you're pursuing, like hobbies or careers or whatever, just anything that you're pursuing, people, right? But you feel like it's something that can complete the transition, from like the wood to the bamboo or the bamboo to the wood or tree. Why did I say wood? That's weird. But, and not saying you can't be complete without another person, but it's almost like it makes it sweeter, right? Like it makes someone's wholeness and completion better when you have a companion that matches that energy, right? So yeah, I just feel like you're being made aware of like you can't avoid this anymore. This 2 of Cups, whatever the fulfillment is, right? It's like you just can't avoid it anymore. And the awakening. Let's look at the awakening for Virgo, please. Awakening for Virgo. Look at the awakening for Virgo. 1 card for awakening, please. Can I have 1 card for Virgo, please? I'm trying to think. Oh, that's way too many. Yeah, I don't know, with that third eye and crown energy, it feels like you've just really, it's like you haven't been able to avoid these messages that you've been getting. And it does feel like it was a little bit stressful. Like you didn't really necessarily, I feel like that was like the past where it's like you didn't really necessarily want the change. You were comfortable where you were strong and sturdy, right? Like the tree is strong and sturdy, but it's like, and then all of a sudden the universe was like, started pointing out, it's like, you're not a tree, you're a bamboo. I don't know. That's so many. Again, sorry, and I wasn't really focusing, but Yeah, so if you've been getting a lot of downloads, like, I feel like if you haven't been listening to them, you're supposed to start listening to them, okay? Now, let's look at this awakening. Awakening for Virgo, please. What? This is crazy. This will not come out. I might have to cut and pull one. Oh, one came out. Master, you guys. This guy, I think, has been out for every single reading or earth sign reading I've done today. And then so we have transformation. So it's like you're transforming into the master is pretty much what it's saying. If you start listening to your intuition and your guidance that you're receiving, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be like spirits and spirit guides and stuff like that. It can be messages that you're getting on earth, like songs that are speaking to you. It can be like billboards or movies or anything that it just like all of a sudden you just resonate with it. It's you feel resonation inside of you. I just recognition. It's like you recognize that saying as something that is true for you. You recognize something that is true for you. And those are messages, right? They highlight things in our lives that are needing transformed. And so that's what you're doing. You're transforming into the master here. You are awakening into being the master. You're illuminated. You have the power of that moon energy. The moon energy is intuition and knowing. And yeah. I like that there's trees in the background here, and we're talking about the tree here. Because it's like you're no longer in the forest, you're like outside the forest. You've ascended to something else. It's almost like you're jumping timelines. Which can be stressful when we know we have to leave things behind, because when we jump timelines, we do leave things behind. It just is a part of it. But there are things that we don't need anymore, right? Okay, I think, am I supposed to, oh, so they want me to, I remember when I was shuffling, they wanted me to take the bottom for this card and make it the six, or, the clarification for the Six of Cups, because that was on the bottom. And so it's like this relationship or whatever it is, it can be like I said, it can be anything. But I am getting relationship because there is a lot of cups up there. And this is, people and people. But it's almost like you're ascending to deserving like this. Yeah, and then healing's on the bottom. I love that. Because it's like all the chakras are being healed here. So that's like Reiki to me. This is the King of Cups, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, maybe you should be getting Reiki, they just told me. Or you do Reiki, something like that. Okay, now I'm going to get some advice for you. I think because we have plenty of time, I'm going to maybe do the Goddess Guidance and then the Work Your Light as well. Actually, I want to start with Work Your Light. Yeah, okay. Can I have one card for this is so weird. I almost said Virgin, but like that's your symbol, like what represents Virgo. So I don't know. Something about looking at your Zodiac sign, like maybe that's something you've not ever really done before. Maybe you're kind of like new to this whole thing, but something about your Zodiac sign, like looking into it, or your whole chart or something like that. Okay, so we have birthing a new age on the bottom with unbound, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. So this does, to me, represent past lives. And so whatever it was like the cycle that you guys were going through here on, if like you believe in, multiple lives or whatever, you're kind of like healing another layer of it on this. And because it says releasing soul patterns and contracts, it's like it's the portal, it's the changing. There might be some advice for that in the book. Yeah, you're birthing like your next cycle, right? With the moon here with the master, you're birthing your next cycle. Like your next, like you've healed something, and so it's coming. Okay, so it says, I release all old soul stories, vows, contracts, and patterns that are no longer aligned with who I came here to be in the present time. I carry the lessons, growth, and gifts, but I no longer choose to live the same story. May I be unbound, unbound forever, unbound. So, yes, that is kind of like the whole, like, you're changing from one thing to the next. You know, obviously, like, metaphorically, but like really, you are no longer, it's almost like your life is going to completely change. Okay, can I get advice for Virgo regarding this spread for the month of December? Advice for Virgo, please. Yep, 2. Oh my gosh, past life is on the bottom. I love that. Okay, so we got guiding children and bodies of water. This is interesting because this relationship could be something to do with like either your children or a parent or someone you're supposed to have children with. Those are the 3 things I'm getting. But it's almost like whatever you're healing and transitioning here is going to help you become a better parent. Either if you have children already, if you have, if you're going to have children, or if you don't or don't want children. It could be like children around you, or it could be even your own inner child. Because, yeah, it's almost like when you do inner child work, you have to go in, and it's like you have to go in really, really deeply. And that's that water energy and the moon energy here that I'm getting with this master card. It's almost like you have to go in really, really deep. And yeah, I am getting really, really strongly inner child because this 6 of Cups too. It's like things that you've carried with you from life to life to life to life, those patterns and cycles. And you're guiding your own inner children, like how you need to heal, like the things that need help and saving. It says you are good at helping, counseling, and healing children. Use your skills to help children now. So whether that be internal or outwardly, whatever this transition is, like however you're changing, it is going to help you either parent yourself or parent your own kids or even your parents. Because, you know, sometimes our wounding comes from our parents needing that kind of parenting, right? That they lacked. And so sometimes us kids can also like parent our parents in certain ways, right? But I am getting with this Suli that it's just about like our emotions, and maybe you're needing to spend some time in water. So maybe go like take a bath or a shower, like a long shower if you don't have a tub, or even if you're able to swim, you should go swim right now. And it will help, the water will help this transformation, because water is, it like helps things flow, right? So if you submerge your worries and your stress in the water, it will help kind of like heal and soothe and make those flow with you, okay? So that is your advice, is to spend some time with water, okay? Virgo, this has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If you resonated, even if you didn't, but you still like the reading, you can like, comment, share, subscribe. Like I said, I do offer personal readings. And I thank any of you for being here today, any of your guides that were present, any of my guides that were present from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much, and I'll see you soon.